If you're seeing this, you are welcome to my channel. Now hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and hit the like. Thank you. You start by marking out your starting point. That starting point is going to be our waistline. Okay, that starting point is going to be our waistline, and this starting point do not have any measurement at all. You can use any measurement you want to measure it. I then go ahead and minus 2 inches. This 2 inches is for waistband. Okay, so you place your tape on the 2 inches. Let the 2 inches rest on the waistline. Now you go ahead and get the length of your crotch and the length of your hip, starting from where you place your tape on your waist and place it down to your hip and get the length. The length of the hip I'm working with is 10 inches, and the length of the crotch I'm working with is 11 inches. Mind you, hip and crotch are very close to each other, so they are just 1 inch apart. Okay, so you place your tape on your waist and take it down to the crotch line and to the hip line and get your measurement. The next thing is the thigh line. You can place your tape on the crotch length and mark 3 inches downwards to get your thigh line, or you can take your tape all the way to the waist line to know the the thigh line. So I did 3 inches. So this is me, dotting it all the way down so that I can connect the dots with my straight ruler. And this is me connecting the dots with my straight ruler. So this is thigh line. Let me go ahead and label it: waist, hip, crotch, and thigh, so it won't confuse us. Okay, the next thing we are going to get now is our knee length and your waistline. Mind you, that waistline, keep minusing the 2 inches because of waistband. Okay, so it won't alter your measurement. I place my tape all the way to the waist and I got my knee length, and I'm going to go ahead and still label it so it won't confuse us. Please ignore the other lines. I was making a different illustration, so please ignore the other lines there. Now it's time to get our crotch measurement. Place your tape on the crotch line, divide your hip by 16 by 16, whatever you get, approximate it, and then you get your crotch. So what I got was 2.8 and other fractions, so I approximated it to 3 inches. So this is 3 inches. I placed it, use my curve ruler, and I marked. So this is me labeling that side. So that is a cross measurement already gotten. We are going to go ahead now and measure our waist. The waist measurements, you divide it by 4. Whatever you get, you mark. Now go ahead and measure the hip as well. The hip measurement, you divide it by 4. Whatever you get, you place your mark and add 2 inches extra allowance. Also add 2 inches extra allowance on the waistline. Hip line, the same thing, 2 inches extra allowance. And then you rule a straight line from the waist to the hip line. The next thing we are going to do now is to get the midpoint of this trouser. The midpoint is what you're going to use to place all your measurements on each side of the trouser. So you place your tape from the beginning of the crotch to the end of the crotch. Just see where I place my tape, and now you fold your tape into 2. Whatever you get is the midpoint of this trouser. Okay, you go on and mark. I hope you understand what I did. From the beginning of the crotch to the end of the crotch, you divide the tape into 2 and mark. Now I am dotting the lines so I can get a straight line when I use my straight ruler. Go ahead and keep dotting it all the way down to the trouser. Now go on ahead and rule a straight line and connecting it all the way down. If you have watched this video to this point, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you. It's time to get our thigh measurement. Now the thigh I'm working with is 32 inches. 32 divided by 2 is 16. Now go ahead and divide that 16 again by 2. What you will get is 8. So you mark 8 here, you place your tape on that middle line, mark 8 inches here, place your tape on the middle line again, and mark 8 inches the other side. So 8 inches here, 8 inches here. And when you put the tape together with the 2 lines, you will see that you're going to get 16 inches exactly. Now on the new line, the same thing. The nail I'm working with is 22 inches. So when you divide 22 by 2, you are going to get 11. Now go ahead and divide that 11 again. You get 5.5. So you put 5.5 on this side and 5.5 on the other side. You can add 1 inch allowance if you wish. When I measured this, when I took this measurement, I already added my inches already when I took the measurement. So you can go ahead and add your allowance, 1 inch or 1.5 inch allowance as you are doing it. Okay, so this is me connecting the lines now. Okay, and for the length of this trouser, this pattern paper is quite shorter, but when I'm cutting it on the fabric, I'm going to cut the actual length of the trouser. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and join it all together. This style is actually really simple. Okay, you don't need to break your head again over how to sew trouser or how to draft a perfect trouser pattern. Okay, so this is it. Very beautiful. This is the front, so we're going to also go ahead and cut the back, but first of all, let's cut out the extra fabrics on this pattern because we don't need them. And this is me cutting them off. Now this is the front, the waist, the hip, the crotch, the thigh, the knee, and then the length. So this is the front of the trouser. We are going to also cut out the back of the trouser. Okay, with another pattern paper. You see, I had to even join this one because I was out of pattern paper. I had to just join it and do this video. So this is us getting the back of the dress, or the trouser rather. So I placed the front on the pattern paper. Now I'm gonna go in here by 1 inch, or go out rather by 1 inch. You know, the back, the bum is actually bigger behind than the front. That is why the back trouser always have to be higher, okay, than the back. So here I went out, I came out by 1 inch, and then here as well I came out by 1 inch. That's the upper part, the waist part rather. I came out by 1 inch, and then this other side, because I want the zip to be at the back, I came out by 1.5 inches. I came out by 1.5 inches for the zipper allowance and for the bum to sit well on the trouser or in the trouser. So here 1 inch, the other side, the zipper allowance area 1.5 inch, and the waist side 1 inch. So this is me connecting the line, making a crotch for the back. You can use pin to hold yours so it won't shift or something. Now with your straight ruler, just do what I'm doing. You're going to draw and make sure the hip side is equal. The hip side, the hip area is equal with the front, while that of the crotch side should come up higher. Okay, because of what? The bum is curvy and bigger, so that part should be higher, while that of the waist or the hip region should be equal with the front pattern. Now I've done all that. Please, you can use pin or something to hold it. This is me using all these things to hold it so they won't shift, because I want to go ahead and cut it off right now. We are done cutting. Let's go ahead and label them. It's always good to label them so you won't get confused, especially for beginners. Okay, this is the front and this is the back. And again, let me give you a tip. If you have a particular customer that is always coming to sew trouser, or just make a pattern for that person.
Now we're going to trace that on this fabric. So this is me placing the front part on the fabric.
Instead of starting all
I'm
over
going to go
again
ahead and trace it out. I folded the fabric into two so that after cutting, after tracing it out, it will be two sides of the front. Okay, this is it. This is what it looks like. This is two of them. So we're going to go ahead and get our dart. I went in by 5 inches, and then the length also 5 inches. I also repeat the same thing on the other side. So I just turned the other side to also do the same thing. 5 inches width, 5 inches length. And then for the back trouser, I'll also do the same thing. I've also traced out the back trouser using the back side of the pattern. Okay, so I'm minus this. I just minus 1.5 for that zip allowance we put them in earlier when we were sewing, when we were cutting it. Okay, so I also did 5 inches length and 5 inches width. That's after minusing that zip allowance. I also turned to the other side and repeated the same thing. After that, I'll go ahead and sew. This trouser will also come with bind, so I'm going to attach the bind and sew the darts, and then sew the front, only the flap region of the front only. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I've attached the bind, I've sewn the darts, and I've only sewn the flap region of only the front. Then this is the back of the dress now. Okay, so we are going to place the front on the back so we can trace out that allowance we put in there when we were cutting it from the pattern. Okay, so this is me tracing it out. I'm going to minus another 1 inch, or let's say ½ inch, for zipper, because remember the bum part needs to sit well, so you don't have to close up the whole thing. So I'm just removing 1 inch for zipper. So this second line I'm drawing now is where I'm going to sew my zipper, while the other side I won't sew anything there. The curvy bum needs to just sit well inside it. I've gone ahead to sew the flap area, or the crotch area of just the front and the back only. Now this is me trying to get the measurement. So first of all, we are going to sew this front and back together. Okay, we're going to sew only this flap side first before joining the other side, before shaping it. This is because you need it to be equal. Okay, that is what I'm talking about. The lines are now equal and in straight line. Okay, now it's time for us to shape, to get our actual measurement for the trouser. Okay, so this is me arranging it. Then remember that the back side should always come up higher than the front. So this is it, because of the bum of the back bum, it should always come up higher than the front. Okay, now I'm going to start with the waist first. So this is me pinning it to hold it together so it won't move. After that, I'll start from the waist first. Okay, so I've gotten the waist measurement and I minus those few inches we left when we were cutting. I also repeat the same thing on the hip and on the lap, and then I'll go ahead to draw the lines straight down, and I've sewn the trouser complete. Everything is complete. I put the zipper and everything, and this is what it looks like. So this is not my dress. I'm not going to wear this to show you what it looks like, but it's really beautiful. Okay, so thank you for watching. If you watch up to this point, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, save. Okay, so thank you, and see you in my next video. Bye.